Political momentum behind his party ahead of an election to succeed the independent Frank Branston, who died in July after 7 years in the post.
The winner will head an authority that has responsibility for education, roads, waste and social care for more than 150,000 people. Kate Prout reports.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, very well. Thank you.
The hand of support from the man at the top. For Tory Mayor candidate Parvez Akhtar, David Cameron's visit 3 days before Bedford goes to the polls is a timely welcome.
He looked at her lying beside him.
Inside the Guild House, a local creative writing group is given a chance to perform in front of the man who believes he can be the next Prime Minister.
I think it's a great centre because one of the most important things is that elderly people feel included and aren't just stuck in their homes, but actually can come somewhere like this where they're able to do courses in writing or cookery, they can do Pilates or exercise, or just come for a cup of tea and meet other people. And I think that is such an important part of our society, that we look after the elderly and make sure they feel part of our society.
This election was called following the sudden death of the first independent elected mayor of Bedford, Frank Branston, in August. At stake, a £360 million budget to manage and crucial decisions to be made about education, social services and transport. David Cameron's visit came as quite a surprise to the 10 or so women at this jewellery making class. Not what they expected on a Monday morning, but he won himself a few new fans, if not voters.
I thought he showed a genuine interest in what we were doing and asked very intelligent questions about our work.
I'm overjoyed, yes. He's in touch, isn't he? He was obviously very interested in what we're all doing here.
I haven't really followed it very much, to be perfectly honest. I'm more concerned with the general election. We get the right people there.
Flush with success from the party conference and with the expenses row flaring up once again today is testament to how important these mayoral elections are, that the leader of the Conservative Party has left London to come to Bedford. As it's probably the last by-election before a general election is called, today was a chance for Cameron and his party to flex their political muscles in the local arena. Kate Prout, Anglia News, Bedford.
Well, this is the full list of candidates for that election. We're going to have more on the other parties' campaigns ahead of Thursday's vote.
And staying with politics, MPs returned to Westminster today after their summer break to find the expenses crisis rumbles on.
It's understood Sir Thomas Legge, the man appointed to investigate their claims, has written to MPs, including the Prime Minister, asking them to make repayments.
Well, earlier we spoke to our political correspondent, Emma Hutchinson, and asked her the reaction locally.
Well, this wasn't really what MPs wanted on returning from their summer recess back to Parliament the first day back today. Of course, the whole expenses crisis dominated the headlines for about 3 months before they went off on that summer break. Today, as they arrive back at Westminster, they find it dominates the headlines again. We understand that Sir Thomas Legge, the man appointed to investigate MPs' expenses claims, has written to a number of MPs, possibly around 500, saying what he makes of those claims and recommending that some of those MPs pay back some money. Now, so far we know that Gordon Brown, the Prime Minister, will pay back around £12,000. We understand that's for cleaning that he paid for. And we know that Nick Clegg, the leader of the Liberal Democrats, will pay back just over £900. We understand that's for gardening that he claimed for. As for our local MPs, well, the ones I spoke to today say they've not yet received any letters. That's because we understand they went to the party leaders first. They say they're waiting to see what they might hear. So most of our MPs haven't heard anything yet, but I think they're rather intrepid about what might be in their in trays by tomorrow morning.
And Emma, start of a new term, and it's hello to a new girl, isn't it? It's the MP Norwich North, Chloe Smith. What are they going to make of her?
Well, that's right, yeah. It seems, well, it's nearly 3 months since Chloe Smith won that by-election in Norwich North for the Conservatives at the end of July. Today, she was finally sworn in as an MP. She can now take her seat here in the House of Commons. She said, when I spoke to her earlier, she said that she felt nervous and excited about being sworn in, and also, of course, excited and nervous about having to make a maiden speech, possibly as early as tomorrow. She becomes the youngest MP in the House of Commons, and yes, a lot of people saying she's got a very bright future. Perhaps the first thing that she'll have to do is carry on campaigning in Norwich North and hope that she hangs on to that seat when we come around to a general election, probably May next year.
OK, Emma, thanks very much. The owners of Silverstone face a further wait before hearing if next year's Formula One British Grand Prix will take place there. The event's due to switch to Donington Park in Leicestershire after 23 years at the Northamptonshire circuit. But the new venues missed several financial deadlines and today held a meeting with Formula One Supremo Bernie Ecclestone. And Ecclestone's now given them another 2 weeks to prove they have the money.
A woman from Norfolk has swum, cycled and run her way to a third straight World Ironman title in Hawaii. She must be tired. Chrissy Wellington from Felixstowe near Bedford completed the 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike ride and then, if that wasn't enough, a marathon in a new course record of just under 9 hours. She picked up a first prize of $110,000. Not sure it's enough.
She looks so fit, doesn't she?
She does, really. And she's not the only one with incredible stamina, is she?
No. How about the footballers from Felixstowe who spent an incredible 40 hours trying to break the world record for the longest ever football match? Sasha Williams has been to meet them.
Just walking out onto the pitch today was challenge enough for this lot. But then it's little wonder they were a bit achy. After all, they did spend the weekend playing football. And I do mean the whole weekend. From Friday night all the way until yesterday afternoon, the lads were among those trying to break the record for the world's longest match. The official record had stood at 33 hours and 36 minutes, set in Canada a couple of years ago. But here in Felixstowe, they decided to add extra time to that, lasting an incredible 40 hours and 36 seconds before the final whistle was blown.
I'm really quite tired and just can't really walk at all. I've got blisters all over my feet and both my legs, so can't really move them much.
Still a little bit stiff, a little bit sore, but not too bad.
Are you glad you did it?
Very glad. You don't pass up an opportunity to take part in such an event.
Now, everybody that finished the match got to sign this ball as proof of their mammoth effort, but spare a thought for the refs as well. They actually had to keep count of all the goals, and the final score was 339 to 210. But there were more important numbers to concentrate on, because the aim of the match was not only to enter the record books, but to raise thousands of pounds for charity.
Trying to get the cardioangioplasty unit at Ipswich Hospital reopened. Cardioangioplasty is the best form of treatment for heart attacks, and without a unit in our county, Ipswich is quite a difficult place to get to for anyone in the rural county of Suffolk. So without it, people have to travel 60 miles plus to the likes of Norwich, Cambridge or Basildon.
They admit it was the toughest match of their lives, but today they clearly hadn't lost their love of the game, and you get the feeling they'd probably do it all again. Well, once the aches and pains have gone anyway. Sasha Williams, Anglia News, Felixstowe.
Oh, dear.
Stiff legs. Well done, lads. I hope someone had little orange segments for them.
I think they need more than a whole orange and a watermelon and several other bits of fruit as well, I should think. Well, to the X Factor now, and Olly Murs from Essex was put through the proverbial ringer on last night's results show on ITV1, wasn't he?
He certainly was, after impressing his mentor, Simon Cowell, with his singing performance the night before. He was made to wait until the very end before the news he was desperate to hear.
Definitely returning on next week's show is Olly.
Oh, yes, after such a nerve-wracking wait, it was hardly surprising Olly was so relieved, but it means the customer advisor from Whittam in Essex marches on.
And he's going to have a very busy week by the looks of it, after none other than Robbie Williams, who made his UK comeback on the show, said he wanted Olly to be his new mate.
Oh, yeah, what are you doing this week then, Olly? Yeah, just hanging out with my big mate, Robbie Williams, as you do. Who predicted that? Who predicted the one that would be going out?
I said would go out, but I think most people know that, don't they?
Well, I did. No, that was fantastic. Thank you. He had a little bit of a punt on it anyway. Now, she's been away, hasn't she?
She has, but Amanda Houston is back, and here's the weather.
Oh, it's good to have her back, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's it from us. We'll be back tomorrow night. Until then,
bye-bye.
Bye.